And here we are live broadcasting from a porta-john outside of a work site in New York City. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Let's Talk Conspiracy with yours truly and the Lou Rock. And we got some guests up on the panel with us tonight.
Hold on. My name was recently changed to Chicken Nips.
I like it. That's right. So the artist formerly known as the Lou Rock has changed his name more recently to Chicken Nips. And I think that could be a conspiracy in itself.
It could.
Yes.
Very well
I do have to say, please warn me before you post that freaking shit in the morning. I woke up and that was the first thing I saw, Lou.
Chicken Nips.
Was him getting his shirt up.
You know, I ate that chicken afterwards.
He did. I know he did.
Yes, I definitely did.
So we have our guests up here with us. Drone Warship, is it Executioner or Revolution? Which is
Actually, I'm playing with my dinghy currently, so it's Drone Warship and his dinghy.
Drone Warship and his dinghy. Yes, new and recent name change. And JoJo Walker Unplugged.
I'm not changing my name. It's too much damn work.
If
You want to find me, fine.
Press the edit button and it's over.
Okay, let's see who all we got out here in the chat now. I see Donna Rock, Randy D, Karen Platt, Diary of Her Mind, Haunted Jim, Darwin's in here, Kelsey's Paranormal Investigations, Tales of the Solstice, Ghost Catcher's in here. Psycho Ghost Tracker is back in the house. Welcome back, Psycho Ghost Tracker.
Hey, Kelsey.
I just have one question.
What's that?
Oh, God.
Can you smell what the ghost has cooking?
So, guys, I told you guys we was going to pick up where we left off last week, and we have been talking, like in the pre-call show, about celebrity deaths, celebrity death cover-ups, celebrity, faked deaths, things like that. Everything from Marilyn Monroe to Elvis to Biggie and Tupac, all kinds of. We even covered Andy Kaufman. Like, what do you guys think? I mean, where do you guys want to go with this? Who do you want us to talk about first? Celebrity deaths and cover-ups and all that. What is your interest in all that? I mean, tell us.
Please type 1 in the comment section if you'd like us to communicate about Elvis. Please type 2 in the comment section if you'd like me to stop right now. Please press 3 if Lou Rock has chicken niplets.
Hey, Isabel. Oh,
Definitely.
we're all the freaking races.
I'm a little scared because Lou Rock hasn't actually talked since we went live.
Yes.
Now he's got his camera off, so it's maybe they got
Can you hear me?
What?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Hello?
Yeah, we hear you now.
What do you take me for? Some kind of something I can't say on this show. Never mind.
Oh, because those are the rules that Ghost just decided.
That's an interesting one right there. As far as conspiracies and people go, the Queen of England. I mean, how much controversy is there? I mean, there's all kinds of conspiracies revolving around the crown, and JoJo would know more about that. Because you're always watching the videos and what's going to happen when the Queen dies and who's going to be the next Queen or King of England. And
all right,
why are you giving out my secrets?
I got something for you for the Queen of England.
What?
Some people actually believe that she is a reptilian shapeshifter.
What?
And that there is witnesses that have seen her actually form in front of them. And also that being part of this reptilian shapeshifter alien group, they actually eat children.
Well, I mean, now when I'm talking about the Queen and conspiracies, I'm leaning more towards like Lady Diana. Remember her?
Oh, I was going to say, can we talk about Princess Diana? I'm pretty sure she's alive.
You think she's still alive?
I think she's alive.
I think she
Listen,
is. I think they were
listen.
going to kill her, so they covered her up.
I honestly, well, she wasn't the favorite to begin with. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, I'm surprised they didn't like offer sooner, like with the whole divorce
Now-
thing and her and Charles and all that. And
Oh,
know,
they whacked her out.
that was a black eye for the crown. Big
Yeah.
time. And the fact that she was an American, that just, solidified the fact that, she wasn't American. Lady Diana?
No, she wasn't.
No, she wasn't.
No? I thought she
No,
The new
you're
one.
thinking-
The
listen,
new
you're
one
thinking
is American.
Merkel. Meghan Merkel is the American, and she's also the first colored person to be married into the royal family.
Did you just say Merkel?
Is she?
Yes.
What, hold on. Hold the phone. Colored? What color?
I'm talking. What? What's that colored?
Are
Really?
they purple?
Like,
No.
what color is she?
African American descent.
Oh,
What's doing with the $1 super chat?
Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm not trying to be racist. I'm just saying that's literally the truth.
No, I
You
was
racist.
for the. I was just confused. I'm always confused. Don't mind me.
Now, do you think there's a conspiracy behind why the McDouble actually went up in price 5 years ago? It was 99 cents its entire life, and then all of a sudden, boom, $1.69. What happened?
The
Conspiracy?
price of dog meat actually increased.
Interesting.
Yes, this is true. This is actually facts.
Is it dog ham or dog beef?
It
No,
always
that would
comes
be dog
back to the dog ham conspiracy. It's like all these conspiracies are connected through dog ham.
Oh yeah,
True.
Can we get back on topic?
the moon landing being faked. Dog ham.
That's it, and we've been seeing a lot more of this. So
Oh, hold on though. I want to touch on because Lou was saying that the queen's a lizard shapeshifter. Okay. I haven't heard that one, but I have heard that as she's been getting older, they kind of freeze her. Like the times you don't hear or see about her for long periods of time, I've heard about them freezing her, like
Cryogenically
Yes.
freezing her?
yes, freezing her basically to preserve her until they can figure out like if she's sick and that to figure
Oh my
out
God.
what will cure her faster. I have
You mean-
heard though.
You just made it sound like they were freezing her to eat her later or something.
No, I really, really,
I'm just saying. That's how it came off.
not even close.
after Stephen,
I know I brought this up before, but
Dog
there was this is actually a Canadian thing, where I believe it was her. I might be mistaken, but I do know it was Charles, and I believe it was her that showed up to an orphanage in Canada. And this was like 30 or 40 years ago. And now some of the orphans from that orphanage are coming forward saying that that day, it was something like 18 of their friends just disappeared off the face of the earth. So basically, like they came, took some kids out of the orphanage, and since they're who they are, they pretty much got away with it.
well,
I've decided to stop at McDonald's and ask my question about the price change.
okay.
You're always at McDonald's.
Would you like something?
Yes.
The conspiracy is that he owns it and just isn't telling you.
That's the same thing that KFC said. They said I can't have Colonel Sanders' recipe. What is this majestic sauce they use? I must know.
Oh, God.
All right, so did we fake the moon landing? I need to know. We need to discuss this. This has to happen.
Yes, it was fake.
I think it was faked. I absolutely believe it was faked. I
Now
mean,
let me ask you a question. Did we fake it because we were trying to beat the other country, or did we fake it because we knew we couldn't go to space? That's the real question.
well, mainly to beat the other country there and deter them from like, oh, they did it now. We got to come up with something better, and they couldn't.
But why couldn't they fake their own moon landing too?
We beat them to it.
How come the other countries aren't as mad about it?
I don't know. Queen Elizabeth is 96 years old. And you know what? There might be something to this cryogenic freezing thing. But what's going to happen when, she gets too old to be cryogenically frozen? Is that where the holograms come in?
Well, the whole thing is, what I heard the conspiracy is that she's trying to at least outlive her son because she doesn't want him to take over. She wants William to take over.
Now we're getting to the root of the conspiracy. Whoa.
She wants William to take over because he is more level-headed and he would make a better leader than her own son, which I agree. Her son's kind of a dipshit.
Well, see, I know that there's a conspiracy out there now that when the queen does pass away and the son takes over and things like that, supposedly, now this is just a conspiracy that's been heard online, but that's when the New World Order is supposed to kick in with a one world government.
New World Order already kicked in.
So
Interesting.
that's when we're going to start seeing the changes in all these other countries. All of a sudden, the UN is going to take over, basically. And it's, that's when the martial law is going to kick in the United States and all this stuff going on in Canada and the UK and, with the Syria and all that stuff. And it's all going to culminate, and there's going to be one world leader.
I don't want Coleman to mate. That's weird. What do you think would happen if a Coleman lantern mated with an outboard motor from Coleman?
Well, and that's the thing. They're literally trying to keep the queen alive as long as possible to come up with a way to deter this from actually happening, because I guess the plans for it has been in place for a long time, but the queen is against it. She knows about it. She knows she had a hand in setting it up, and now it's gotten out of control, and it's out of her control, and
And then birth control. So much control.
All the controls. Like my Xbox.
Right. Yeah.
HSFL's out there. How about the fact that China has built their own version of the HARP to be in direct competition with the United States technology that could alter the weather and tectonic shifts?
Well, actually, China isn't the only other country that's made a HARP antenna.
Is that what's happening to California right now?
I was going to say, wait, hold on. China was doing weird shit to their weather way before anybody was.
I mean, these people are making a moon.
Yeah, they're building a moon that's going to be going into operation next year to help illuminate their city streets at night so they can turn off some of the power. And
Also connected to dog ham.
Yeah.
That's actually the closest relation to dog ham.
Excellent. I have two questions for you. The first one, what happened to Ronald McDonald? And the second one, why did the McDouble price go up?
The price went up, sir?
Yeah, well, I mean, considering almost its whole life since infancy, it was 99 cents until 5 years ago when they adjusted the price. Why is that?
I can't tell you, sir.
You don't know? Okay. Well, let's do this. I will take 2 McDoubles, 1 McChicken, and a large orange soda.
Anything else, sir?
That'll do, but do you have a question at least or an answer for Ronald McDonald?
I don't have an answer on McDonald's.
I don't see his face anywhere on the McDonald's sign anymore. Has something happened?
I think they tried to move away from the clown image, but
Interesting.
And do they carry dog ham in their products?
more dining.
Right. What was that? Hold on a second. Ghost
And-
wants to know if you guys carry dog ham in your products.
Carried what?
I know about mealworm, but dog ham.
Dog man?
Dog ham.
Dog ham?
Ham.
Like in the meats?
In the meat.
In the meat.
Not that I know, sir.
He says not that he knows of.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna
All right.
we're gonna have to dig deeper into this Ronald
I will
McDonald.
see you at the window, sir, but I want to know more about Ronald McDonald.
That's why we ain't ordering no ham, egg, and cheese McMuffin.
That's true.
$89.
I never thought of it.
Same
What's up, man?
burger, $1.59.
Yes, yes. Here you go. Here's proof, people.
Hit me.
Wait a minute. Double cheeseburger, $1.89. $1.89 right there.
Right.
$1.89 for double cheeseburger, right? Now wait. The
McDouble.
McDouble, the exact same burger, okay?
Uh-huh.
$139. Or
Right. Boom.
$159. I'm sorry. It's more expensive to get the McDouble than it is to get the double cheeseburger.
It's more
I told you.
Or I'm sorry, I'm backwards. Yeah.
I'm on a show with a bunch of fat people.
$189 for a double cheeseburger,
Asshole.
$159 for a McDouble.
Hey, Lou, I'll save you.
Really?
Bro.
You live with one.
I've been thrown in Ghost Mafia.
Yeah, well, I happen to be up here.
About McDonald's again.
I mean, you might be able to answer this. What is up, Richard? I see you have a name tag now. Richard, you are the manager. I am on a live show right now on YouTube, and we're talking conspiracies, and I have to know, for everyone out there, why is Ronald McDonald not on the sign, not in the store, not anywhere to be found? What has happened to Ronald?
I guess the whole thing with the clown thing a few years ago during Halloween, with the clowns.
Really?
Yeah. I'm not saying it's true, but I think that's kind of.
They just did away with Ronald
They do
because...
away with him. He's still there. He's just not in the spotlight right now.
Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. Well, that's a good enough answer.
And the Burger King isn't creepy as hell? I mean, come on.
This is true. Let me know. I'll check back in on that. You got it, brother. You too, man.
Look, I'm just saying, if I was walking down an alleyway late at night and I had somebody dressed up like the Burger King walking down towards me, I'd be shitting my pants too. You know what I mean? Hell with the clown.
What the clown, man? Oh, my bad.
Anyway.
I did just drop an F-bomb. I apologize, everyone.
Well, at least you didn't insult people of size like I did.
Did
Hey,
you tell a
I
bad
see-
joke and I wasn't paying attention?
Do what, JoJo?
Pretty crap to me. I apologize.
Oh, Lou's insulting people by size. Drone's saying the F word, and I'm calling people a-holes.
All right.
Yes. This is
Walker family says, I would grab a bat if I seen the Burger King coming down the alleyway towards me.
So here's the real question.
Right?
Do we believe McDonald's answer to my question?
No.
The Ronald McDonald dude's been around forever.
What about the Hamburglar and all that?
I'm wondering what happened now.
What happened to the rest of the crew? You remember Grimace and the Hamburglar and Mary
Mhm.
McCheese and all them guys from childhood, man. There was a whole gang of them.
That's true.
Well, Ronald McDonald overdosed.
I can remember when they brought out Birdie. Remember Birdie? She was like the breakfast chicken thing, whatever. Birdie, McGriddles, and all that.
That's crazy, bro. This
Anyway,
could be a worthwhile discussion. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I find it interesting that it's the same burger. You order a double cheeseburger or a McDouble, and there's like a 50-cent difference in price or 30-cent difference in price. But the
Actually-
same sandwich.
Believe it or not, there's more that comes on the McDouble because it actually gets chopped onions and mustard with pickles and cheese and ketchup. On the other one, you just get the pickles, none of the chopped up onions, one piece of cheese, and ketchup. So actually, you get less if you order the McDouble or the double cheeseburger than the McDouble. I did it just to try both of them, and I realized there are some big differences. They also use a different bun for the double cheeseburger. I don't know why.
DF Network. Spider-Man Far From Home was awesome and incredible.
That's what I heard.
Little off topic, but yeah, it was a good movie. I watched it the other day. Let's see. What is the McRib really made of? Dog ham.
We already know dog ham.
Yeah, dog ham. Yeah. How come they didn't have the clown no more on McDonald's? That's what we're trying to find out. That's
That's what yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I drove specifically to McDonald's, sat and I'm fat, to ask that question.
I think he overdosed.
But anyway, back to where we were with the Queen and cryogenics and all that. Now, with the cryogenics topic, that's been a large discussion for a long time. There's rumors that Walt Disney was one of the
It's
first
cryogenically frozen.
that had himself cryogenically frozen because he plans on coming back.
You learned
Yeah.
about that on Futurama. Which, by the way, is the most accurately represented time travel and rehearsed conspiracy TV show for cartoons I've ever met.
Actually, that is true. And some of the when the professors were like writing down formulas on the chalkboard, they're actual mathematic problems.
Yep.
That's true.
There are a lot of references that have come true, and that people are wondering if the guy that drew and wrote the script for
Is that Matt Groening?
The Simpsons was actually from the future.
Yeah,
time traveler from the future.
We touched on time travel a little bit last time, but we can bring it up, revisit it again, and yeah, there has been a lot of predictions that have come true from the Simpsons cartoon.
Yep.
Is that Matt Groening?
Groening?
Oh,
Yeah.
I can't remember his name. Yeah, sounds right.
Matt Groening is the creator of Futurama. Yep.
And The Simpsons, right?
Yep.
Yeah. I
Yes.
think so.
Which,
That's why I said they're both accurate, very accurate. Bender's characters.
if you
Shows
actually watch this,
a lot of weird stuff.
it shows all the stuff that's happening now showed on The Simpsons years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, back in the 90s.
Yep.
I heard the FBI tried to bring him in for questioning.
It's crazy because I can remember the Simpsons like first airing on the Tracy Ullman show, and they were just little 1-minute shorts before they go into the commercials.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now, here's my question: if it predicted the president that you have years ago, and now he's your president, does that mean that he had a hand in making that cartoon episode?
Well, here's another thing. Watch that episode and watch what Trump actually did to our country in the episode. It wasn't good.
Hey, I'm gonna go help these guys work on their car real fast. I'll be back.
All right. Yeah, that is crazy. Is Matt Groening a time traveler? Is he from the future?
I don't know. What about all these people opening up those portals to find the mirror universes?
Yeah, somebody was showing me something like, I think it was you was telling me about
Yeah,
this.
I was talking to you about it because I came across an article about it. That I think she was a U.S. professor, I believe, and she's actually working on opening up a mirror portal for one of the mirror universes.
The multiverse?
Yeah.
No, not a multiverse. It's a mirror universe. So they haven't gotten to the multiverse yet. She's working on just creating the portal to the mirror universe, and then after that stage, they're going to try and enter it and see what happens.
It would be like
it'd be like
Lou, if you opened up a universe and when you went over there, you met your future self, but instead of being right-handed like yourself, that the other Lou is left-handed.
Oh, that's actually part of the multiverse theory.
Oh yeah,
the multiverse theory has 4 different possible outcomes that.
But how mirrored is it? I mean, would the mirror universe Lou Rock actually be a male? He might be a female. Might be the polar opposite of Lou. You know what I mean?
Well, they're saying that there's no chance of doppelgangers, is what they're saying. So, I mean, if there's a Lou Rock over there, it could be like a Luis instead of Louis.
Right. So, Lou, you could go over there and go. Never mind. I won't say it.
I could go. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Would you? I would. I would so hard.
Imagine I'd look like the bearded lady at the carnival.
Now put the lotion in the basket.
So that here's the question, because you said before the show that I'm like hanging out with one of the guys. So if I'm a guy in that other universe, does that make me really feminine then?
That would make you like a gay male
Yeah.
over there.
No, not true. You would be a straight dude that's into weird
That's
stuff.
very feminine. Well, that has more of a
Just like
feminine
yours.
side than
Yeah.
most.
Exactly.
I don't know. You just blew my mind.
Think about it. Dude, imagine. Okay, so Alyssa Parrish Rock Fam is in the chat. So over there, she'd be your sugar daddy.
Oh, see, there you go.
There you go, Lou. Sugar daddy.
You want to really blow his mind? They actually are together in that other universe.
Ooh. Ooh. Or polar opposite, Louisa could live in Australia and
Alyssa.
Alex Parrish Rock Fam would live in the United States.
I think we lost Lou.
I'm here.
I think his head just exploded. You ever seen that scene from Scanners? Just, you know. This one turned out to be true. The CIA spied on and controlled the American media. Well, they've been doing that for years. HSFL. Years and years and years. I mean, clear back to Roswell. Obviously, if they was controlling the media, oh yes, it was a weather balloon. Believe that.
Did you see Donna Rock's comment? She said, "I would be a man." She goes, "That'd be so cool. I could just whip it out and pee anywhere."
And we get in trouble for that.
Only when it's in public places.
Yeah, but imagine what would be illegal in our world would be legal in that world, and what's legal in our world would be illegal there.
So
Yeah,
it's legal.
So literally over there, you could have a purge and all that going on. Literally, it would be legal.
Being nice and helping people is illegal.
Well, nobody helps each other now. Have you seen the way society is? Maybe you'll have a society over there that actually cares about others.
You might have like what costs us here would be free there, like food, housing, insurance, things like that, all free.
Maybe money doesn't exist.
You know, instead of gold and silver being the two, most valuable things on the planet, it would be like lead and solder or something. You know what I mean? It'd be like,
Well, what about over there? Money didn't exist.
Ooh.
Everything you had is stuff that you either made yourself, like they used to back in the olden days, okay, or that you gathered yourself.
Or maybe
your house was built by you.
Maybe you age in reverse.
Oh, would that mean that you would come out like an elderly person and like die a young person?
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much.
I don't know if I'd be okay with giving birth to a grandmother.
I mean, think it's mirrored. It's polar opposite.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, this is what happens when crazy people get together on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Lou Rock, have you noticed that time is speeding up? In the last few days, I have. But technically, actually, it is because summer solstice is already past us, which means the days are getting shorter. So you're getting less and less daylight every day from now until the winter solstice, when the days start to get longer again.
Are you reading John's comments? Read HSFL's.
But the agents who were recruited to find recently deceased babies and children took samples, including full limbs without the consent of the grieving families more than what?
Yeah, I think you have to scroll back up to get like the first part of what he was saying because he
You
wrote
know
out a
what?
couple.
Let's just get John up here with us because that's a lot of reading. What?
Listen, we're on YouTube,
link?
okay? We're done school.
Can you send him a link?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah.
I guess I can do your work on your show.
Well, you know,
I'll do it. Just
I
give
would
me a
do it,
second.
but I don't have a private hangouts with him for some reason. He keeps leaving the private hangouts with me for some reason. I don't know why, but
Yeah, Jonathan.
Well, if you were smart, you would have just saved him to your contacts.
Donna Rock being a skinny man isn't all it's cracked up to be. Trust me.
oh, could you imagine like the Lou Rock in the other world would be like morbidly obese female?
But
So
I would be,
basically,
but I
Lou,
would
you
be
would
successful on YouTube.
But hold on. What if there was no such thing as YouTube over there?
But over there, morbidly obese, the bigger you are, the more beautiful you are too. Think about that.
Well, then I'm screwed.
Well,
You know, it's a polar opposite world. I mean, so you know what we think of as, you know, perfect body, perfect lines, perfect everything would be the exact opposite of what we think of over there. So
You're selling me on the opposite universe. I want to go live there.
yes.
I'm just saying, like the
Sounds
bigger
way
you are,
better.
the more sexy you are, the more sought after you are.
In that universe, everybody hates sex.
Oh,
Oh, yeah. I don't know if I could do that then.
yeah.
Yes.
Welcome back, Walk family.
Okay, so now we got John HSFL up here with us. John,
What's up?
What are you
spill
going
it,
on
brother.
about?
What in the world? I'm seeing conspiracies just flowing out of you. Like, come on, man.
I'm obsessed
Spill the
with him.
beans.
I've been obsessed with him since 9/11.
Which is
Okay,
his
well,
birthday.
explain what you're talking about because we missed part of it.
Yeah, you're gonna have to fill us in now.
Okay, so which one?
I don't know,
Well-
but you need to turn up your microphone a little bit.
The
Can you
one,
hear me?
well, start with telling us from the beginning the kids' limbs and all this. What were you talking about?
Okay, so I was reading this conspiracy theory that actually turned out to be true. And what happened was after they had dropped the bomb on Nagasaki and Hiroshima, the government stole parts from dead bodies to measure the effects of nuclear fallout. And they basically needed like recently buried people to test the effectiveness of nuclear energy on the human body, and they dug up close to 1,500 people.
Christy Ray's Ghost Fam says, I've got crazy stuff going on at the quarry next to me.
Oh, hold on. I got to fill Walker family in. We're not talking about the afterlife. We're talking about the mirror universe that they're trying to open up.
Oh yeah, they're trying to do a whole bunch of stuff they don't need to be involving themselves in.
Well, that all goes back to the conspiracy that Lou brought up in the last show with the CERN and the smashing of the
Oh, the God
atoms
particle? Oh, I don't
Yeah.
even get
All right,
started on.
Well, in the same place where CERN is located, they've recently had this what looks like a portal or a black hole opening up in the sky, and actually it was documented by pretty much the whole country, and they actually at first they said that it was a test rocket from Russia, and actually Russia denied it at first and then changed their story to that it actually was a test rocket. But there's actually video of this up on YouTube. You can see it from all different angles. There is no way that the spiral in the sky that I was watching is a rocket going out of control. It literally looks like they opened up a black hole in the middle of, I believe, the Netherlands.
Now, isn't the super collider isn't in Russia though? It's in like Germany, isn't it?
It's
No,
in
the
Sweden,
Netherlands.
I think. Somewhere in that range.
Yeah, Sweden or Netherlands, up in
Yeah.
that region. Okay.
Yeah, and the dangerous thing about there's a lot of things about CERN. I mean, just look at their logo. If you guys haven't pulled up their logo and had serious thinking questions of like why this is a bad thing,
Well,
their logo is literally 666.
I know that, and Lou showed a couple clips of the video last week about the video that actually they put on like I guess you would call it a rockumentary type thing, like
They
a
did
big
like a
scale, like flash mob type play thing that went on for like 3 hours. That had strange symbolisms in it and things like that. It just went on and on and on and on. It's crazy stuff.
Yeah, Google and CERN both of Google and CERN's logos are 666.
Interesting.
And so is Disney actually.
Well, I mean, it's no secret that Disney, Walt Disney was one of the biggest racists on the planet.
Well,
Was
he's also leader of the Masonic Temple in Southern California. He actually has an underground Masonic lodge in Disneyland called Club 34.
Really?
Yep. It's for the very elite.
I actually seen something on that. It's like the only bar in Disney World. It's called Club 34, and you have to be a member to get in.
Yeah.
You have to have a special membership, but it's a bar. It's a social club. I don't know about like Masonic. It's not that secret. It's secretive, but they actually had it on a show here recently on television.
Hey, can you put me on presenting for a second?
So that's the CERN logo right there.
Yeah, hold on, Lou. There we go.
All right, is it on?
Yeah.
All right, this is what people seen in the sky in the Netherlands.
Oh yeah, I've seen this. That thing's crazy.
And what was that supposed to be?
At first, it was said that it was a rocket test from Russia that they denied at first, and then actually they changed their story and actually said that it was a rocket test. And but if you watch it, it gets really freaky. And this is in slow motion. It was a little bit faster than this.
You know what's crazy is
How
what
is
I
that a
think it
rocket
is.
test?
I think it's some kind of acoustic weapon.
Like a sonic boom or like a sonic.
Well, it's supposed to disrupt people's equilibrium.
If you look, it looks like a black hole opens in the middle. It almost looks like you could see a planet in the middle of it.
Yeah, I was gonna say
that's opening a portal or something.
Yeah,
that's a
what it
portal.
looks
You
like.
can see
And
something
that's
in there.
right next to CERN. So they're saying that they're opening up portal, black holes, whatever it is. But
It's giving
yeah,
me
that's
that whole
crazy.
Death Star.
All right, take me off.
Okay.
It looks like the Death Star.
Looks like my butt.
It does look like his butt.
Ghost Mafia. That's the CERN logo right there.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, hold on. I want to see it, but I'm stuck. Hold on. I'm coming.
But then I wasn't. But then I just showed up. Yeah.
Oh, wow. That is definitely a 666.
And then Google's is even crazier. It's more subliminal.
All right, I got something for you. Did you know that the World Wide Web was actually invented by CERN?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, it had to do with the Hadron Collider and all that too.
They wanted scientists to be able to communicate all over the world.
Mm-hmm.
And so the World Wide Web was actually invented by CERN, which is crazy.
There's the Google logo.
That's messed up.
And and this goes into cube theory and everything, like all these 666s everywhere. It literally all ties in together big time.
Okay.
Lou, Carlos Martinez has a question for you.
Why do I keep dabbing my...
No. He said, wait a minute, let me go back here.
Carlos.
He says, Lou, JoJo, I got heat for trolling the shit out of Heather's Hauntings. Said, I trolled Heather's Hauntings now, and all her people are spamming out and reporting me.
You know, I'm
not trolled Heather's Hauntings.
Yeah,
He said,
he has. I don't even want to touch
is she
that.
like known? I heard she's like a TV star or something.
I have to ask, Carlos, what are you going to do in 2020 when they get rid of all trolling channels and any IP addresses connected to them? You can hide your IP address, but it only works like twice. I mean, what are people going to do without trolling? What is the internet going to become when nobody can keep people in line, you know?
Listen, Carlos. And Ghost, before I say this, I'm gonna warn you ahead of time, and I'm sorry. Carlos, after what I heard that you did to Sharpshooter on Boomer Stream, what I heard about you trolling a blind child, and now you're talking about Heather's Hauntings. Honestly, dude, I think you're the lowest of the low, and if you were face to face with me, I'd kick the shit out of you.
Yeah, he's a scumbag. He's a scumbag. He ain't even
We
worth
have always
talking about.
allowed you to stay in the chats and talk, but if you can't grow the fuck up, it's time for you to go.
Never thought I'd see this day. In the arms of the Carlos.
Although Drone is right, they have changed some of the things in the rule book for the trolling situation. They are going to be, when trolls get reported like that on a consistent basis, or large numbers of reports come in from like one channel on one person's, trolling channel, it kicks it into the algorithm, which literally will block your IP address, and you won't be able to sign on from any other accounts.
Any other account or device connected to that IP address. Yes.
Right.
It won't work.
Not only that, let's take that a step further. They are talking about implying actual litigation charges against people for internet crimes.
That will be the only thing that works. You can't do what we're saying. You can't block people's IP addresses because they're being reported, because then the trolls will just report people, and then they'll be trolled by shutting down people who aren't trolls. So that has like...
Well, no, it gets looked into. It's not just a bot that comes through and sweeps it. It gets looked into by an actual person.
All right.
So if it's a bunch of fakeness going on where they're just trying to get rid of somebody, like a bunch of trolls trying to get rid of another person's channel, it doesn't work that way. Bots can't interfere with this. This is something that has no control over algorithm basis. It may get put in the algorithm based on that, but it doesn't actually get taken to the next step until it gets reported and then seen by a YouTube examiner.
Listen, I'm not trying to, because Brian just read Carlos's message to me, because I'm outside right now. I'm not trying to rip anyone a new one. I'm trying to tell you to grow up. Okay? That's what I'm trying to tell you. That's the puppy that was...
Lick my balls, Carlos.
But Carlos, on the real man, you probably need to find a new hobby, because unfortunately that one might end up in legal problems for you within the next 4 months. So it's probably time to wean yourself off the troll teat.
And I was just going to say, yeah, I mean, after seeing those messages, he didn't just post it in Boomer's, he posted in Francis's about Sharpshooter and Jay.
Oh, yeah, he came into my chat trying to attack the Sharpshooter as well.
And I have screenshots from my channel when he was saying it, leaving comments on my videos. And I'm like, come on, bro.
He's just jealous.
Walker family says their channel has been, because they've been getting trolled bad, but they've reported it, and they're like, it's not getting looked into. It may not seem like it, but all that stuff gets logged.
I just want to know what people consider getting trolled bad. What would your version of bad be?
Well, I'm talking like enough to body shame someone and them become depressed and commit suicide or contemplate it is bad enough.
And this comes on the heels of Etika's death, where he had another YouTuber, large YouTuber, and he had gotten trolled to the point where he actually jumped off a bridge and committed suicide. So, and that's really made YouTube take notice of the trolling issue. And literally, it was just hours after the confirmation that they had found Attica's body that they put into the changes into the rule book. So,
well, it is going into effect, and I Carlos, it was a good run for the past 13, 14 years that YouTube's been allowing it, but at some point, everything comes to an end.
Yep.
Yeah, see, Bouncer Slab says, I'm glad I don't troll anyone these days. I grew up while watching the cause and effects. Well, this is the thing. I mean, it's not just us. Like, yeah, we have our own community that we talk to and that, but once your videos are being seen by people that aren't in the community and that stuff really can scar people. Not just the people that you're trolling, but the people watching.
Really,
I just think they're cowards. If you were a real man, you would show your face.
Yeah.
You're a coward.
That's what I've been saying about the YTDC, the YouTube drinking community, hiding behind masks.
Yep.
Dreamwalking just hid Carlos.
Yeah, because he posted a really rude comment about Sharpshooter again.
I didn't see what he said. What he said.
Sharpshooter went to YouTube hell. Strikes. Hope he crawls out from that pit of
I refuse to talk about him anymore. He ain't worth it. He ain't even worth my breath.
Yeah, that's just...
On with the show.
Yep.
Yes.
So, regarding conspiracy theory, has anybody ever seen this?
Can't hear you, John.
Yeah, you need to.
Seriously, can't hear me?
What's wrong with his voice? Why is he so low?
Okay.
Hey, Mudcon.
Might be my case on my phone. Can you hear me better now?
Kind of.
Mudcon with a $20 super chat, and I did see the other. Yep, I seen the other one that you dropped there, Mudcon. Sorry, we was kind of into things at the time, but I did see your other super chat there. Thank you, brother.
Ooh, when do I get my cut of that, Ghost?
Hopefully you guys can hear me because this one's good. I don't know if y'all have ever made there's the NASA logo and its ties to demonology, but I'm gonna show you this. So NASA's logo is literally the tongue of a snake, and it's basically saying that NASA never tells the truth.
Hold on. Alicia, no, I didn't mean that you weren't supposed to. I was just reading out what happened.
Well, and a lot of the symbolism and stuff. Like I could make up a logo for my channel, and somebody's going to be like, "Oh, Ghost Mafia's logo has to do with Satan and the devil," and they'll pick that thing apart.
It's a little.
It actually does look like I developed it just for the specific means of, it has to do with Masons and this and that, and I'll be like, no, I just thought it looked cool, but
look up Alfa Romeo.
Alfa
How's it
Romeo.
going,
Oh yeah,
Mackie?
Alfa Romeo is definitely.
Alfa Romeo is literally one of the lizard people eating a human.
What?
Yes.
True. Yeah.
I do believe in the lizard people. I believe in the reptilians.
I mean, but the NASA clearly has a snake tongue going through the center of it. And then it does look like the snake eating its tail. And the snake is from the times of the Bible and Adam and Eve.
All right, here's the reason I believe in the reptilians. All right. Years before anybody had talked about any of this stuff, I had a crazy guy telling me about a race of alien beings but he didn't call them the reptilians. He called them the rutilians, like R-E-T, instead of reptilians, rutilians. And
ESPECT. Find out. Oh.
yes, exactly like that. And everything he explained ended up coming into the public eye years later. And that's when it hit me like, whoa, this crazy guy was telling me this stuff 20 years before anybody ever talked about it. So it kind of hits me a different way.
Beautiful Becky said Blue Rock, they're in Doctor Who.
The
Which
reptilian?
is true. Yeah, they are, actually.
Yeah.
I wanna poo on you.
On to Jim with a $1.99 super chat. Here's to my awesome paranormal family. Thank you.
Like a boss.
Like a boss. But yeah, the whole reptilian thing. I mean, I would think, okay, so reptilians shed their skin, right? Wouldn't you think you would find like more remnants of evidence somewhere? Like somebody would discover like a full body reptilian exoskeleton that they've shed.
No, you wouldn't. Not if the reptilians are running everything from behind closed doors as the elite, like it is actually believed. You wouldn't find anything. It would all be hidden.
Or
But
maybe
here's my
like
question, though.
Goldmember.
Hold on. I got a question first. But humans shed their skin.
Mm-hmm.
We don't shed it like a reptile, but we do shed it.
That's true.
Isn't it possible that if the reptilians are real and they look like us and whatever, isn't it possible they shed the same way?
Well, I mean, it's discerning to think that the Sleestack are going to come out of the shadows and eat us all here someday, but Lady Fawn is going to be like,
it's a possibility.
Did you hear about when the United States was testing energy weapons on the state of California? I tried posting it a couple times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, now here's the thing, and I kind of made a joke. I said the Sleestack was going to come out of the shadows and eat us, but if thinking about this, maybe Land of the Lost had it right. Maybe with the portals opening and the time dimension. I mean, if you ever watched the actual show from back in the 70s and 80s, and then even with the movie with what's his name, Will Ferrell,
Mm-hmm.
there was some credibility to the science that certain things had ripped time and space. So they're like walking across the desert, and all of a sudden there's a oasis that's part of a hotel with an in-ground pool, and they're just chilling out there, and it's like remnants of these two multiverses coming together, and it's all chopped up, and
Well, here's the thing. We found lots of different structures across the world, Chichen Itza and Teotihuacan and the pyramids and all these constructions that couldn't possibly be done by humans, especially at the time that they were supposedly built 10, 12,000 years ago. They haven't even found tools for them to build these things. So
right. In fact, they found a new one. They found a new one that dates back to the time of the Stone Age, when they had hunters and gatherers. Like, I was just watching this last night, as a matter of fact, like 7,000 years before the pyramids were built, and even farther back before Stonehenge was built.
Yep.
So, and it was crazy. There was carvings into the stone pillars of animals that isn't recorded. Like
I
animals
visited.
that didn't exist.
So-
I visited Stonehenge. It was cool.
I have a question, okay? With all these portals being opened now, okay, isn't it possible that they opened the portal and we're the mirror of them, and they basically taught us how to do this? Like, we're catching up to
Right.
where they were at that point in their time.
So you mean like doppelgangers?
No, a doppelganger is your exact replica
Self.
of you, but opposite personality. Okay, I'm talking like back then they were where we are now.
Right.
But when
Now
will then
they're-
be
hold
now?
on. But hold on, but now they're actually way more advanced than us, and we're basically following behind.
Toxic is in the chat, okay? I'm sorry for cutting you off, but he just blew my mind. Toxic has actually met the person that I'm talking about that was telling me these stories 20 years before they ever were on YouTube or TV or anything. His name was Preacher. He's well known around Springfield. This guy had like his eyes were like dead, like literally his eyes were white, and he just blew my mind by guessing who told me this story. He just blew my brain is gone. Like I have to go.
I just want to say Springfield was the Simpsons. Did anybody think about that? And there were lizard people in Springfield.
Yeah. Yeah. Hello, West Haven.
Sometimes I think that Springfield, where I live, is the epicenter of all evil on the planet. Like, not even
look at the movie.
That's interesting.
Now
going back to what JoJo was talking about with the portals actually being open from the other side, you gotta remember, JoJo, this is a mirrored universe. So when you're standing in front of a mirror and you reach out with your right hand, your reflections are reaching out with their right hand, but they're on opposite to you. So
yeah, but what I'm saying though,
thing over there at the exact same time we are. So it's entirely possible that they're opening.
What I'm saying though, like, they're trying to prove multi-universe, and they're calling it mirror universe. But what if it's not a mirror just because it looks like ours? Like, you think about it. Okay, so I'll put it in a way that's easier to understand. Say you today, okay, you Ghost, you went and you made, we'll say, a microwave, okay?
Okay.
But I didn't know you or anything like that, okay? No idea, never seen a microwave, never heard of it. 10 years down the line, I all of a sudden am making it. Do you get what I'm saying? So instead of being a mirror, I'm saying they're ahead of us in a different alternate state.
Guys, can we stop frying Dan's poor brain? There's too much at play here. This is why I don't try to actually sit down and figure out Back to the Future. I just watch the damn movie and watch the DeLorean light flames on fire on the tires and go, wow, back to the... Wait a minute, didn't they go back in time just to go to the future? But they never go to the future. They only go back in time. But that doesn't make sense. See what I'm saying? It should be back to the present. See? What?
Back to the past.
But see, here's where you they went back in time, and then from in the past they go to the future, and then back to the past, and then come back, and then they have to go back to the future. But the future should have changed.
But they didn't do that until the second movie.
Yeah.
So Back to the Future came first. It shouldn't have been called Back to the Future. It should have been called Back to the Past.
There you go.
But hold on, but that's not true because they went
the
to
whole
the past.
movie.
in the
He's
first
trying to get back to the future.
Yeah, they went back to the past, and then their chances to get back to the future was running out.
No, the first movie, he wasn't trying to get back to the future. He was trying to get back to the present.
John was.
That's what I'm saying. Back to the
But
present.
technically, it wasn't. He was trying to get back to the future of his parents because it was based on his parents.
Right.
And what would have happened if the course of time and everything that they did was changed?
You know,
But technically, he created an alternate future because his dad stands up to Biff, so he changed it.
Yeah, alternate timeline.
You know where they got the inspiration for Biff was Donald Trump. I always thought that was funny.
Yeah. Do you see why I don't try to sit down and understand this, man?
Jenna Randolph says, I have a conspiracy about dog ham. Bouncer Slab, just keep in mind that the fossil record shows the same insects as we have today. Some may have evolved past own abilities. That's true.
Ooh, this is a good one right here, Ghost. Let's see, right here. Let me get back to this. The fact that during Prohibition that they poisoned the alcohol to deter people from drinking booze at that time, they actually put poison in it. It turned out to be true. They used dangerous chemicals in the years of Prohibition to discourage bootleggers from turning the alcohol into moonshine.
Well, not only that, they were using, like the over the counter medications that you could get at that time were using what was called wood spirits, which were actually poison. They actually had a case in one town where 30 people end up in the hospital blind, stricken with all of a sudden blindness for absolutely no reason. And it come to find out it was this over the counter elixir that these people were using that had these wood spirits in it. Well, they were cutting the alcohol out because it was illegal and putting wood spirits in it instead. And it caused paralysis and blindness and all kinds of stuff.
More than 10,000 Americans actually died from the tainted booze.
But it wasn't the government that was doing that. It was the companies who were making this product. That alcohol was illegal now, so that, okay, well, now we don't have a product. We got to put something in place of the alcohol.
Right, and it was actually the manufacturers of the industrial alcohol that put the chemical in.
Yeah.
You got another one.
See, man, now I'm scared to smoke weed. I don't want no government weed, man. These people aren't getting high on candy duff and huffing cans of paint and doing crazy stuff. They're getting high on government weed.
West Haven with a $1 super chat. Thank you, West Haven. What's up, Joe?
Baller.
They've now turned weed into crack.
You know,
what I mean by that is
that's what I'm saying.
The dabs and stuff, like the prices on it. Oh,
you
let's
know,
smoke,
white people are
an ounce of
stupid,
weed
Lou.
in one sitting. What's that?
Lou, you know white people are stupid. I am white, and I will admit our people are dumb. We will try that. Don't ever challenge a Caucasian to smoke as much as he weighs, because that retarded motherfucker will sit there and try.
Yes.
I promise you. Don't do it.
Yeah.
Well, and here's the thing. I got into an argument with a friend of mine who was talking about, weed is so good for you and this and that. I said, weed, and he called it the lettuce of the gods. Okay. Fine. Lettuce of the gods, it might be, or might have been at one time, 100 years ago, when it was growing wild and it was a natural plant. But since then, we have crossbred it. We have genetically engineered it. We have hyped it up for potency and to do specific things for, cancer patients and things like that. We've literally altered the state of so many different strands and crossbred it for more potency and things. It's not the same as, 100 years ago. If you're walking through the woods and you walk up, hey, here's a marijuana plant. Let's cut it down and smoke it, and I guarantee you, if you were to smoke like weed from 100 years ago and then smoke today, you'd look at that like,
be like, what the hell is this?
You'd be like, man, I ain't getting nothing off of this. It ain't doing shit for me. What? Might as well be a secret,
Did you know the U.S. government and Canada were in partnership with developing a machine to detect homosexuality in human beings?
Huh.
Oh, wow.
That doesn't
I
say
got another super chat here. Aussie Tiger Rock Fams with a 449 super chat, because I can much love y'all.
John, I already had that. It's called Gaydar.
That's
I was
actually
going
what
to
they
say,
called it.
I don't need to be checked. I can just tell them I suckle the wiener, man. There's nothing better than some wiener, suckling. I'm just saying. There's special techniques and talents to this stuff.
Look,
I agree with Donna.
Like
She
my
says
uncle
you
always
don't-
taught me.
Dark,
on,
man.
Lou.
That's dark.
Hold on, Lou. What
Oh,
was you
it's
saying,
okay.
JoJo? Go ahead.
It's okay. Let him finish.
Like my uncle always taught me, it's not gay if your eyes are closed.
Yeah.
Go ahead, JoJo.
Oh, it's okay. I'm good.
Well, what was you about to say?
I
Don't worry about
wanna
it.
pee on you.
Green Bay
JoJo.
major traffic congested everywhere I rent. What?
I don't know.
I can introduce you guys to several people to explain the reasons pot is a healing plant. Well, I'm not disputing that it's a healing plant. I'm just saying the potency of it now is probably 100 times greater.
Way
through
back when they weren't
breathing.
using it to get high like we are now.
It's
They were
Right.
using it for medical
74%
purposes. They were using
higher
it for
than it
food.
was.
Hell, in freaking Rome and in Greece, they make salads out of it. Even to this day, you can go to restaurants there and get pot salads. And it's not like high potency. It's just what they do. That's what they've done for years.
Hey, does anybody want to go to Rome? I just have this sudden urge.
Right?
Has anyone else noticed the dramatic increase in groceries this past month?
Be our fan
Groceries have
TV.
been bad here in California for years.
Joey's in the house.
Joey! Smash, smash, smash that like button, as Joey says.
It's because
Did you just say smash, smash, smash that like boy button? I'm pretty sure he said boy and then said button.
It's you know why they're increasing.
Michael Jackson's still here.
They're increasing the cost of groceries and water because they know people will fall for it, and creating this fake sense of urgency that we're running out of stuff when it's not.
Well, I mean, okay. Now, if you're a gun advocate, which I'm a gun advocate,
Me too.
a few years back when President Obama was in the White House. Now, when I was a kid, we'd take our 22s out there at the farm, and you could buy 22 ammunition, 22 long rifle ammunition for about 50 to 75 cents for 50 rounds, and you could find it anywhere.
Yeah.
You guys remember the 22 shell drought where they pulled all the ammunition from all the stores? You couldn't find 22 long rifle ammunition anywhere for a while.
That was back in like 2010, 2008.
Somewhere in there. But it was like you could not find ammunition for a 22 long rifle anywhere. They pulled it off the shelves. Supposedly the government was buying all kinds of it. Why does the government need 22 shells? They have, AR-15s that shoot 223 and 5.56 loads. I mean, why do they need that low a caliber? You know what I mean?
Because
and why do
wanted
they
to
need that
create a
much
false-
of it that they would create a shortage in the United States?
Yep. It's because that's the most readily available ammunition, and it's the lowest cost in guns on the market. And they didn't want that in the hands of the people to defend themselves from government tyranny.
But when we started getting ammunition back on the shelves, now the price is jacked up so high on 22 ammunition, it's cheaper to buy a 308. I mean, honestly.
You don't even want to hear what they did to California. You know they're making you have a background check just to get ammunition here in California now?
That's crazy.
That's something stupid.
Bouncer Slab says the fatter we get, the tastier we become for those who eat humans. Reptiles.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
Mm-hmm. Taters.
I'm going to tell you right now, I'm so bitter you don't want to eat me.
What do you think about the many earthquakes and floods at the same time right after the eclipse? Green Bay Wacky, the eclipse was the first, signs in the heaven, then earth. Okay, I don't know about the earthquakes so much. I know that California has been well past due for more than 20 years for a large earthquake.
Try more than 150.
Okay,
years.
so the fact that it happened around that time, with all the storms and the flooding, and this was something me and Lou got into the other day. He asked me, do you think it could be, cloud seeding and chemtrails and HARP antenna, as to in the last week we've had so many storms and flooding all over the place? I said, no, I don't think it was the HARP antenna or chemtrails. I said, but realize that this was 4th of July weekend, and every city and every state and every town and tons of little backyards all over this lower 48 has been firing off fireworks into the air and putting all these chemicals into the air for the last week. I said that we're seeding the clouds ourselves, guys.
Oh, yeah.
That is definitely, and if you guys notice, every year, the day after the 4th of July, it rains every year.
There was a question for you, Ghost, if you scroll up from Walker Family.
Okay, what did they say here?
It was about a gun.
We
so
shot a
scroll
whole
up.
lot of dog ham into the sky.
Hello, RK.
How about the fact
Were
that the
you-
Dalai Lama, claiming to be a spiritualist, claimed $180,000 a year until his death?
Okay, it says, for you, there's a gun that is like a sniper, but you can shoot it in auto. Do you know what type that is? You know, there's several different ones. I mean, you
Yeah.
can get a 7mm Magnum
Yeah.
in a semi-automatic. You can get a sniper rifle. You can get a 50 caliber in a semi-automatic.
Ciscar?
Yeah, there's a bump. There's what is it called? A bull pump 50 cal that they just created. That's semi-automatic.
Yeah, there's several different. I mean, Lapuas. I mean, you
Yeah,
can.
they're
They're sniper's choice is usually a bolt action rifle, but you can get a Lapua in a semi-automatic rifle.
Yeah, you can. My dad has one. He has a 338 Lapua Magnum that is on an AR based platform.
Yeah. So I mean, as
Or
far
you
as
could
sniper
get-
rifles go,
Or you could get 6.5 Creedmoor in semi-auto,
hmm
which is or 300 Blackout, 300 AAC Blackout. That's is in the AR type frame. Oh yeah, you can get locked.
Laura says, "What about JFK assassination? Was it a lone gunman or more to the story?"
Oh, don't even.
I think there's more to the story. I think there's a lot more to the story, and it's never.
That was an
Wow.
FBI hit to the mat.
I confess, I was the second shooter on the grassy knoll.
Yeah.
I was the guy. I was the guy in the storm drain, closest to the vehicle.
They said that Dalai Lama was a CIA agent trying to take down China's infrastructure.
Donna Ralph says, she says, Ghost Mafia, I disagree. I sit in my area in Michigan and watch every day how they spray. They sprayed to keep storms south and east of me. Chemtrails, definitely. Now, see that, and she just said they spray to keep the storms south and east of me. So, literally, chemtrails can manipulate the weather patterns. And things like that, the jet streams and things like that. But I'm saying 4th of July weekend, we're putting those same chemicals in the air by exploding fireworks in there. You're putting saltpeter up there, sulfur, carbon, and rain scrubs the air. Anytime it rains, it scrubs the air. And those chemicals being up there in the clouds and mixing with that moisture and, condensation and that crystals, and like there's a lot to it, but I guarantee you that the fireworks are helping to seed those clouds and storms, which is why literally 2 days ago, I got hit with a flash flood here. And you can see the video up there. We left the house. It was just starting to rain. We went to the store, picked up a few groceries, and in less than a half hour to 40 minutes, there was so much water coming down this hollow that we live in that we could not get to our house. We were flooded out for about 5 hours before the water level receded. I was helping out with the fire department in a search for a vehicle that had a woman in it that washed down the creek. They did find the vehicle. They did not find the woman. They're still looking for a recovery.
Hey, Ghost.
That. And I can actually show you the picture
man.
of the car.
Ghost?
Yes.
Yeah. Hold on. Yaman disagrees.
That's the car
Yaman
we're looking for.
We had another earthquake today. Did I tell you guys
He
that?
said, "Oh Jesus Christ!"
And it has been confirmed there was no one in the car, no one missing.
Jojo, your mic cut out.
No, I'm muted.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Go ahead with what? I'm fine. No, just let John finish talking.
No, I'm done. I was just saying that we had another earthquake today.
Oh, I wasn't even hearing John. I was hearing you. Who were you saying said something? Oh, no, wait. Let me get to their comment. I don't even see their comment.
It was Yaman, and it was farther up. He was saying He disagrees about the chemtrails. He's saying so many lakes and bodies of water heating and cooling. That's what's causing the weather change, not chemtrails.
I think chemtrails has a lot to do with the not so much the weather itself, but the weather patterns, the jet stream, effects and things like that, and how it changes. You can actually force this jet stream farther south or force it back up to the north again. So I think there's a lot to do with the manipulation of the routes of the weather. Now, the weather itself can be like the HARP antenna and things like that, but with the cloud seeding, they actually have been manipulating rains and things like that for years. They would put salt into the clouds to make it rain in areas that were.
You think about it. Fact of the matter is, okay, you've got cars running all the time. Okay, you've got aerosol cans, you've got paint fumes, you've got other gases that go on daily. Okay, then you set that all off with freaking fireworks, and you set that off with rockets, and you set it off with airplanes and jets. It's all going to affect the weather because you're eating away the layers that protect us.
True. Yep.
Okay, I just want to point out the ozone layer doesn't actually deplete; it fixes itself over time. But
that's your belief.
No, it's accurate. This planet's had enough.
The whole point to a conspiracy thing is that I don't have to believe what you believe.
Oh no, it's fine. I'm just saying that the ozone's been around a very long time. It's had volcanic explosions. Just a couple of volcanic explosions are enough to actually put out the same amount of pollution that we put out on a daily basis if a volcano goes off for a week around the entire world. So our planet has enough power to fix itself as need be. It's Mother Nature's beautiful thing.
The fact of the matter is, too, that every year we have some kind of large event. Okay, this year, 4th of July weekend, we've had earthquakes, we've had storms, we've had excessive amount of lightning damage, tornado outbreaks, flash flooding, all kinds of stuff. But do you remember a year ago what was going on? We had the volcano out there in Hawaii.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Well, now, did you hear what is happening in Hawaii right now? The long-time dormant Mauna Loa is potentially about to go off.
Potentially.
It hasn't erupted in like 200-something years.
Well, they're saying the same thing about Yellowstone, too.
Well, Yellowstone hasn't gone off in 640,000 years.
Right. But they're saying that Old Faithful, who was on a regular schedule, has been like altered. Like the timing of the geysers are off from what they normally are, and it's showing signs of a potential eruption.
Well, and the fact that Steamboat has had 2 years of straight record eruptions. Steamboat's the most dormant geyser in Yellowstone, and it's twice the size of Old Faithful, and it's gone off like 6 times this month alone.
I mean, guys, I gotta say once again, this is that Mother Nature beautiful thing where our planet burns gases underneath the surface of us. It's got to relieve that pressure somewhere,
Well, yeah, it's not a conspiracy theory. I was just sharing fact.
So,
I love geology, so that's like. I found it interesting though that the government is so hush-hush about what's going on. They were not telling people for weeks that the roads had melted leading up to Old Faithful, which is not okay.
Well, I guarantee that the National Geological Survey is just camped out in Yellowstone all over the place right now, just taking seismic readings and, temperatures of the ground and waters around the place. And, I'm sure that they're on top of it. But are they going to warn us ahead of time of a event horizon type eruption from Yellowstone? Because if Yellowstone does go off, it can put enough ash into the to literally send the lower 48 into a nuclear winter or nuclear ice age type thing for a while.
It would be a 10-year nuclear winter equivalency.
Right.
But in the first year, it would wipe out the U.S. crops and a good amount of the U.S. agriculture and our feed supply.
Hmm.
Which is a scary thought. And within 100 miles of Yellowstone would be completely disintegrated. So just to put that into perspective, 100 miles away in circumference, completely buried under 20 feet of ash.
Yeah, that's. I mean, when you think about it, if a volcano eruption that size puts that much ash into the sky, it's literally going to block out the sun for weeks.
Yeah, and it could put up to a foot of ash just on the state of Texas alone. And that's a big state. 6 inches to 1 foot of ash, and then up to 6 inches all the way to Washington D.C.
That's why I said if you really think about what humans do versus what Mother Nature can do, man, it's our planet has the ability to fix its own problems.
Well, I mean, look at the Dust Bowl in the 1920s. The what they called the Dust Bowl was when everybody went out west and they started farming the low-lying, flatlands to the west. They literally started tilling up the land. Okay. And then for the wind erosion factor going across those plains, all of a sudden the ground is tilled up to just dirt. And we literally had, at one point on the East Coast, we would have actual sandstorms or dust storms that would come through during the 20s. People in Ohio were literally having to keep like wet towels around their windows and things because the dust in the air coming in from out west was literally just choking people out.
Yeah, I mean, our country, and if they don't stop fracking in the Midwest, good Lord. That's what's causing all the earthquakes in Oklahoma, which used to never have earthquakes. They've been having like 4.5s and 5.0s and 3.5s every single day. Because they're injecting the ground and filling in these faults that they didn't previously know existed in Oklahoma with pressurized water and oil.
And Bouncer Slab has kind of hit that right on the nose there. I think he agrees with Drone there. He says the more mankind changes the natural flow of nature, nature has to compensate for the discrepancy. And he's right. He's right.
Yeah, and they are doing the fracking.
Okay, but hold on. That being said, if that was true, everything has a breaking point.
Yes. I agree with that.
So eventually, Mother Nature and the ozone layer or whatever, or planet Earth, or whatever the hell you want to go with, is not going to be able to repair itself because of the damage. Right. A volcano may let off more chemical than anything that we've ever done, but you're adding that chemical with the rest of the other chemicals that we have, and you're doing this on a daily basis.
However, those chemicals have been part of our planet forever. We may not have mixed them in the same variation as the planet would have, but I guarantee you it finds a way to compensate. Just like a virus in your body, it does what it can to get rid of it.
Yeah, and some viruses you can't compensate for and end up killing you.
Well, we just haven't figured out a means to solve those viruses yet.
But that's the thing. You haven't figured out a means to stop the planet from moving itself either.
The planet has a way to do that.
Oh, did you hear this?
Yeah.
The United States Geological Survey has warned Southern California to expect more major earthquakes in the months to come.
Yeah.
You can say even more powerful than the ones over the last couple of days.
So, to put that in a theory that's understandable, imagine taking a rope and tying it to a stick and spinning the rope. It's pretty easy to spin with your hand, right?
Yeah.
While it's tied to the rope, there's not much to it. Now, tie a rock to the end of the rope that's tied to the stick and spin it. What happens? It becomes harder to spin because you're throwing the axis off, right?
Right.
So anytime you build a city that wasn't meant to be there,
Anytime you move a mound of dirt that wasn't supposed to be there, it throws off the natural order of things. And when that happens, it starts to cause the tectonic plates to shift. And when that happens, you start getting slow buildups to volcanoes starting to smoke and geysers being way off their patterns. And it's Mother Nature's way of fighting back. That's actually, I see it more as a warning than anything like, hey, stop what you're doing, or I'm going to end up having to do something I'm really going to regret.
Right.
And how about the fact that USGS hasn't alerted that Mono Lake in California is actually a super volcano, three-quarters of the size of Yellowstone, and hasn't gone off in 850,000 years.
Lou Rock, you're pretty quiet over there, brother. I think we lost Lou. I think he fell asleep.
Look at it this way: the planet is alive. It is alive. Okay, it has a heartbeat, because if the heartbeat failed, the planet wouldn't be here anymore.
Right.
So, it's there. It's going to do what it finds is necessary to keep the world here. Whether that means wiping everything off the planet Earth to do it, it will.
And they were also saying, the USGS said that the Yellowstone supervolcano caldera magma has moved 1.5 miles closer to basically detonation.
Mm-hmm. Do you remember in 2012, 2014, the Earth's gravitational pull was off by 8%? They had to shut down all the airports across the U.S. to recalibrate our compasses because they were so off.
Yep.
We like to mess with the natural order of things. It's human curiosity.
And not only that, but like, okay, so the Earth is on a pivot axis of what, 30 degrees, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the Earth is spinning. Okay, so this would be like your poles going through the center of the Earth. And your Earth is on this pen, and the Earth is spinning around. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
but at the same time, this pen is revolving around the sun 365 days, 1 year around the sun. Okay, now at the same time that the Earth is spinning on this axis, while in orbit around the sun, the axis is spinning like this.
Yep.
So, and that's where they get, you remember a couple of years back, they were saying the horoscopes changed due to the axis spinning on itself.
Yeah, the magnetic gravitational pull of the planet has been altered.
Yes. And that's where that comes in at.
So essentially
it's literally, if you take like a gyro top and spin it, you'll see at one point where it starts to waver.
Yep.
And that's where the planet is at this point. It's in that wavering axis.
So the thing is, you can't
the impossibility of it not being flat.
Well, if you really stop, if you want to go broader, think about it this way: when the polar ice caps melted and the Earth was spinning, it was actually causing those massive chunks of ice to move around the planet. And then when they melted, that was because that was their happy point. That's where they found that they didn't have to go any further because it evened out the planet, and then it melted. Since then, we've built all these cities and done all these things that has just changed the natural order, you know?
I thought I'd get Lou Rock back in here with the flat Earth theory thing, but
I was actually going to ask if we were going to touch on that.
Lou Rock is the flat Earth theorist on the panel.
There's actually a great study that was done that I think does he believe it's flat or round?
I think he believes a little bit more toward the flat side.
And I may concur with him on that.
Really?
Yeah. Well, I'll go in deeper if you can get him back in here. I'll give my point of reference.
You know who you should really talk to about the
There's actually tests that have been done.
Yes, here we go.
About point of view.
Yes, exactly.
And these tests that have been done about point of view do not add up to it being around Earth. In fact, the only reason something goes out of your view is because of atmosphere.
Yes.
Also, it's actually proven because in certain places, I believe one of them is like Block Island. You could see it from Rhode Island.
So,
And, go ahead.
yeah, I want to talk about a very thorough test that I thought was very well done and well handled, and great scientific evidence was brought to the table that still hasn't been debunked yet. And that is the fact that, like Lou was saying, your eyes only give you the ability to see so far. You can't zoom in, you can't zoom out. That's just what you see is what you get, right? But what if you were to take something and enhance that ability? So, like, for instance, if the planet's mass is so far, right? It's so round, and from this point to this point is, let's say, 4,000 miles, right? Okay? Across the planet would be, let's say, 4,000 miles. It's probably more than that, give or take. But I'm just saying, rough numbers. Let's throw some just random numbers here. Say it's 4,000 miles across the planet, right? In quarter increments of 4, you should be able to establish. You shouldn't be able to establish the line of sight in quarter increments, because the Earth at that point would start to recede and go round, right? So what they did is they did a test with a ship on the furthest part of the ocean they could find, and they sent a ship out, and they used this massive telescope to watch this ship for as far as they could possibly see it. Okay, I'm going to let you guys take a guess at some numbers here of how far it actually made it, okay, before it should have potentially disappeared, okay, based on the numbers and the calculation of the Earth size, okay, or circumference, I should say. All right. Take a guess how far they were able to see this ship on the horizon, just sailing in the same direction away from them the whole time, with the help of the telescope.
No clue.
Lou?
I watched that test actually. It was I don't know the exact number. I just know that it should have went out of view way before it did.
Yes. Actually, they never lost view of it.
Yes.
Based on the circumference, it just kept going, and it went way past the marker that it should have gone before it should have receded behind
so what the
roundness of the Earth.
What the science shows is that if the Earth was round, for every mile, it should have dropped, a couple feet.
Precisely.
And it did not do this. In fact, the only reason that it goes out of your point of view is due to atmospheric haze type stuff.
Okay, so now here's, and I don't want to refute the science behind it, but there has been studies done out in deserts where literally, and you can see this driving down the road on a hot summer's day. When you watch out the road and you got a nice long vision, the light above the road, you'll see the heat coming off the road, and heat will actually bend light. It will actually bend the visible spectrum that your human eyes can see through. And they've had instances out in the desert where the heat coming off the sand dunes was able to project a picture of like a New York City skyline clear out into a desert.
Yeah,
sure.
You see it often in like the Mojave Desert, which isn't too far from my house, where it'll get so hot that it'll actually look like a lake out in the middle of the desert.
Yeah, that's called an oasis.
Yeah,
but yeah.
Well,
however,
like a
there's a simple.
But
however,
if the heat coming off of the planet can bend the light, couldn't those images travel through that bent space around the planet?
It wasn't done on a highway. It was done on.
It was done on the ocean.
Well, I mean, even on the ocean, you're still going to get, the water may be cold, but you're still pulling heat and energy out of those waves.
Well, there's just simple equations like the people that see Block Island from Rhode Island should not be able to see it. It should be down around the curvature of the Earth.
Wow, but they were in communication with the ship the whole time. They had a light bar on the back of it that would flash certain colors so they would know that they were still in communication with the ship. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So they would ask it to send off light signals, and they would pay attention to those signals to make sure that they were still having direct communication and what they were seeing wasn't fake. You know what I mean?
If the Earth is spinning at 1,000 miles an hour, it doesn't matter. Like when you enter the atmosphere from space and you're going through just air, what happens? Why do they have textiles on the space shuttle? Because the friction moving through that air in space still causes heat. And if that Earth is spinning at 1,000 miles an hour, looking over a large distance, even though it doesn't seem like it's standing still in one spot on the planet, it seems like it's 70 degrees. But if you get into the upper atmosphere where that heat is going to culminate, literally it will bend light, and it can bend.
There's other tests that have been done. There's actually a test that was done down in the South Pole, which actually they actually hid the results of the test because if you put a sundial in the South Pole, it should act a certain way if our Earth is round. They actually didn't show the results to the test because it didn't come out the way it was supposed to. Also, one thing I just that hits me wrong is Neil deGrasse Tyson just recently came out and said that the world is not round; it's oblique. It's an oblique spheroid. Now, if it's an oblique spheroid, how come all the pictures taken from space show it to be perfectly round?
Well, I don't know. But you know how, like in some areas of the world, you can have 6 months of darkness and then 6 months of daylight, right?
Yes.
Okay. So what that is, and then this comes back to the spinning and the rotation and the rotation of the rotation. What that's doing is at that part of the Earth that's spinning around, the rotation is only catching darkness 6 months out of the year. And then as it comes around the backside of the sun, the rotation is catching sunlight 6 months out of the year. That's why you get that, because the roundness and the spinning and the axis being spinning. If it was
I've seen a lot of science that
literally have daylight 12 hours.
I'm actually not going to say that it's flat. I'm just going to say that it's not round.
Well, Bouncer Slab brought up the point that if it was flat, how do you explain weather change?
What do you mean?
The weather wouldn't change if it wasn't round.
That's not true.
How do you figure? That would...
For one, we've only observed what we can see for thousands of years. And we don't know if we're inside some kind of Truman Show bubble made by aliens just to make us believe that we're in a... For one, we thought it was a flat Earth for thousands and thousands of years. Well, if we were wrong, why were ancient peoples able to line up buildings with the stars, the sun, and the sky perfectly within millimeters of an inch if that's not true?
Yeah,
See,
Okay,
also
but
those
then you have to
alignments,
explain seasons.
yeah, those
because-
alignments correlate with certain dates, like the summer solstice and the winter solstice. So it's only
Yeah.
on those dates that those stars and planets and everything align perfectly.
Yeah. So, like, if it's the seasons and the Earth is flat, okay, so you're going to obviously have one edge that's smaller on both sides, right? That means they're getting what? Like maybe a month of each, if that?
here's the deal. If you were raised your entire life and told that the world was flat in school, by your parents, by everybody, you would be sitting here arguing to me, telling me how it's flat and not how it's not round. I'm just saying, look at the science and look where there's mistakes in the science.
I'm not saying that there's not mistakes. I'm just saying, like, there's things that they haven't explained that if you're going to go off science, logical thinking, you would ask these questions.
Right.
Well, logical thinking is what makes me ask the questions that I do. Logic is what makes me think, well, you know, why are these tests showing that the Earth, it doesn't show that it's round? I've watched hours and weeks of videos on this one subject, and there's a theory that we've never been to outer space and that we can't even break out of this atmosphere, and our satellites aren't even in outer space. They're in balloons that float up in our atmosphere.
I think a lot of the flat Earth theory comes from the theory, and I see it in the chat now, like all the images from space. Okay, now you can take a picture from space and it can look three-dimensional, but you're viewing it on a two-dimensional screen or a piece of paper where it literally has no dimensions to it. You can flip it over and it's flat.
All right,
and
well, they recently had an image.
Circle. Even though it's in two dimensions, it's not a circle. It's Neil deGrasse Tyson. It's stretched, and it's an oblique spheroid, which means it's more. He actually said it's more pear-shaped than.
Well, yeah. Now I'm not saying that the Earth is going to be perfectly round. You know, absolutely snowball, shaved down, perfectly round.
Well,
it's
that's
rock.
What
it's a rock. You can go out to the creek, you can pick up a round rock, but it's not going to be perfectly round unless you shape it to be perfectly round.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, like I don't think that it's a perfectly round freaking ball. I'm just saying, like, what's there to say that it's flat and doesn't have any curves to it other than, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's gonna be awkward. It's gonna be, you know, obviously look at the landscape around you. I mean, I'm here in the Ohio Valley, Appalachian Mountain region. You know, there's mountains miles high, you know, sticking up. This thing's it's not gonna look like a perfect marble. It's gonna look more like a buckeye tree seed that comes off with peaks and mountain range, you know, all kinds of stuff. There's gonna be deep areas, there's gonna be high areas, lows. It's not gonna be perfectly formed.
Well, recently they had images come out of NASA where it looked like they were in space with their like equipment and stuff until you could see what looked like the outer edges of a pool, and then later found out that the photo was actually taken at a NASA Space Center in a pool.
Yeah, and then they had I think it was like it was one of the presidents. It was like I think it was one of the Bushes. He's walking through NASA, and they show a guy in the background with water floating in front of him, but he's in front of a green screen, and they actually were doing a live feed on NASA saying that dude was in a spaceship. If it's a lie and the Earth is not round, it's a complete lie. Like there's reasons behind it.
But here's my thing: if the Earth is flat,
I'm gonna go against it's not round.
If the Earth is flat or that the Earth is round, does it really matter? I mean, as far as what we're doing to the planet, and as far as the changes taking place, and as far as the planet trying to fix itself, and you know the earthquakes and the floods and the fires and everything, you know, does it matter if it's round or not?
Well, it does.
We're still making our footprint on this Earth is not going to be able to be erased anytime soon.
There's a big difference between the sun being millions of miles away or only 10,000 feet up in or whatever they say. They say it's only thousands of feet above the Earth's atmosphere. A lot of these flat Earth theorists, they say the sun is a lot smaller.
If that was true, we would see Mercury a lot closer to Earth. Now you can because Mercury is the closest planet to the sun. We're the third planet away from the sun.
Yeah, but that's if you're going on their model, dude. If you're going on the model that they've told you, and I mean, some of these flat Earth theorists believe that we're actually the center of everything.
And again, the fact that now I've heard those theories. Supposedly the Earth is the center of everything, and the sun revolves around us. I think that's I don't know. I'm not one of those people that thinks that everything revolves around them. You know what I mean? I think I'm just a speck in somebody else's bigger plan around something else. You know what I mean? So it's like, when
I go up into a spaceship and I'm proven wrong, then I'll tell you.
I mean, I think the only thing that actually revolves around the Earth is the moon. That's my belief.
I mean, I guess there's still questions I have. For instance, light and dark, right? I guess what I don't get is that if the sun shines on one part of the Earth at all times, right? Boom. Okay. And you have nighttime and daytime. It would seem to me that when you lose the sunlight, you lose the heat. If the Earth went to the backside, wouldn't everything get extremely cold on the other side if it wasn't being heated by the sun? It would basically be the elements of space.
Well, if this is your flat Earth right here, and say this is your sun, okay? Now that's daytime and it's night side on the back side of the planet, right?
Mm-hmm.
But
no, because that's not the model.
Point, when it goes around, there's going to be light on both sides.
No, because the way the flat Earth model goes is the sun would not be as big as that light bulb. It would only be about the size of probably the size of a BB. And so when the sun gets to one side of the flat Earth, the other side of the flat Earth would not have any sun on it. So the scale is way off and way different. You're taking the round Earth model of the sun and putting it on the flat model of the Earth.
So you're saying that the actual sun is smaller than the Earth itself?
Smaller and a lot close. No, I'm saying the sun in the flat Earth model. I'm not saying that the sun is smaller. I'm saying in the flat Earth model, the sun is a lot smaller and a lot closer than we think. And it revolves around that flat Earth. And when it gets to different areas, the light beam, the light bulb, the flashlight, whatever you want to call it, is on that part of the Earth at that time.
So if you think about it, man, let's say the Earth was in a platter form. Can you not stick a stick in the air on an axis and spin a plate and it stays there?
That's true. You can. Yeah.
Well, you'd have to explain gravity, and gravity has not been explained yet.
You're still spinning, causing gravity, downward force.
Well, what are you saying?
I said the Earth technically spins on an axis. That's what we've been taught.
Yes.
And if it was a flat Earth, technically you could still take a plate and put it up there and spin it, or a book and put it on the end of a stick and spin it, and it would still stay up there, just as though it was round.
I'm not getting it. I'm not getting it. I'd have to see a visual.
Okay.
See a visual.
Take a basketball, put it on your finger and spin it. Does it stay on your finger?
Yes.
Take a book, put it on the tip of your finger, make sure it's at center mass, spin it. Does it stay on your finger?
If it's balanced.
Exactly. And if it's not well balanced, it wobbles, causing the Earth's gravitational pull to be off.
Right.
Yes. But then you got to understand what creates gravity.
Downward force being applied by spinning on an axis.
Kind of like taking this hat. Obviously, it's sitting on that stick right now.
All right.
But if I spin it and get it spinning fast enough, You know, it'll level itself out and continue to spin.
Exactly.
Actually, what would create the gravity would be the mass of the Earth. It's the mass that creates the gravity, which is the theory of why it would hold it to the Earth. Because
So
if
technically,
you spin a basketball that's wet, does the water stick to the basketball?
Yeah. Centrifugal force. Yes.
All right, with centrifugal force, if you take a basketball that's wet and you spin it, does the water stick to the basketball?
some of it does.
Actually, some of it will.
thrown
Some
off.
it'll separate to the top and bottom. Only the water on the sides of the ball will spin off, and that's where your
All right, so
fastest
why do we
rotation
have
will
water
be.
throughout the whole Earth? Why ain't it just spun off of the sides?
That goes along with this. That
No.
goes along with the same thing for flat Earth, where, well, if the Earth was round, I remember the discussion. People saying if you were to fly an airplane to the top, to the South Pole, right, or I'm sorry, to the North Pole, right? Technically, you'd be flying up the whole time and landing on a flat surface, right? You'd be landing on the top, so you would still be upright, okay? But if you were to fly to the South Pole, then the gas, technically, if you're upside down, should recede to what? Top of the fuel tank instead of the bottom. And
Well, not
technically,
only
the plane
that,
shouldn't run.
Yes.
not only
All right,
that,
exactly.
with that,
But that's because we're confusing centrifugal force with gravity. Gravity in the round Earth model is made by mass, not
okay, but here's
centrifugal
the
force.
factor that you're forgetting about, Lou. It's not just a ball, okay? Outside of that ball is an ionosphere.
Yeah, but that's not
atmosphere.
sticking you to the Earth.
It is attached to the Earth because it's compressed by a
But it's
vacuum
not
of
sticking
space.
us to the Earth.
No, but it works as a buffer between space itself and the Earth itself. That's why.
But you're not understanding what gravity is.
Okay, let me ask you a question.
Gravity is mass.
Why do you say that we haven't made it to the moon yet? Because we haven't been able to get through the what?
The Van Allen radiation belt.
So not only do we have an ionosphere, an atmosphere, a radiation belt, which
The
all this
radiation
is
belt's
acting
nowhere.
as a buffer. Okay,
The
so
radiation belt is not a part of the Earth. It's an area in
it
space.
surrounds the Earth in space like a bladder. Okay, that'd be like putting a tennis ball inside a Ziploc bag filled with water. Okay, you see what I'm
No.
saying?
No,
It's like the Earth is inside a.
that's not what creates gravity. Gravity is made by the mass of the
Well, I'm
Earth.
not saying that's what creates gravity. I'm saying that's what helps to keep things from spinning off the Earth. The gravity inside the Earth itself is, a
It's
whole
magic.
different thing.
It's
But,
magical.
yeah. Well,
It
I'm
is. It's magic. You
saying
can't explain
the
it.
bladder helps to hold everything in place, and the bladder outside of the Earth is moving with the Earth, maybe not even in the same direction.
But that has no bearing
Okay.
on why we're held on to the Earth.
Can I ask a question? Maybe Lou can answer my question because I'm trying to understand Lou's point of view on this. Okay, I'm personally not a flat Earth person, but if mass is what holds us to the planet, then when we flip and it's nighttime for us, wouldn't we fall off? Because we're no longer on top of it.
That's true.
What do you mean when we flip?
When the planet
Around Earth? Is that what you're saying?
When the
Well, you're
planet,
saying-
when you live on this side of the coin, right?
Because in the flat Earth theory, the coin doesn't flip.
Okay, but then the other people on the other side don't exist.
Okay, so if the coin
Right?
isn't,
They're not on the other side. They're straight across from you. There's
So-
nobody on the other side. It's
there
straight.
has to be an other side.
No, there doesn't. Why
Well,
does there have to be another side?
If there's not another side, then the Earth isn't flat.
So
What do you
then
mean?
the Earth isn't flat; it's just a line in space. Is that basically it?
No, but you're saying you're using the flat Earth model and saying that it has to spin, and that's
Well,
I'm
if
not
it does-
saying it doesn't have to spin. I'm just saying if it's flat, even a flat thing has two sides to it. Okay.
yes.
So even if the sun is going around us, there still has to be something on that other side of us.
Yeah. Oh, of course. That's why they say that there's an ice wall that surrounds the entire planet, and where you can see the ice wall start is in the South Pole. And
Antarctica, and that's why there's a secret military base there. That's
Okay,
all
but then
hush-hush.
what's holding the ice wall there?
magic. Magic. You know why? You know why? Because you can't explain to me what's
I
holding
think
us
this
here with the round Earth. You cannot explain to me what is holding us on the round Earth. So why can you explain to me what's holding us on a flat Earth? You can't explain either model.
I think
So
with
magic.
the flat Earth theory that the thing that keeps the Earth where it is something to do with some kind of magnetic. You know how like one
Magic.
magnet will float
It's
on
fucking
top
magic.
of another.
It's magic. We don't know what it is. For one, I'm not saying I'm right. I'm not saying the Earth is flat. I'm not even saying the Earth is round.
No.
It's just gravity is something that we have not found out the mechanics to yet. For all we know, there's some magical force that pulls us down to the Earth.
Actually, I think
Well,
Isaac Newton found out pretty raw what
Hold
Yeah.
on, no.
what gravity
not
is when it
disagreeing.
smacked him in the head.
Gravity has not been explained. All Isaac Newton found out is cause and effect.
We're all gonna
Okay,
agree
but
that-
what I'm saying is I'm not disagreeing with you, and I'm not trying to prove you wrong. I'm just trying to understand your point of view on it.
My point of view is either model can be correct. Either model.
Well, not just your point of view, but like the whole theory, because I'm like I said, I'm not into the flat
The whole
Earth theory.
because
So
it's not mine. I'm just saying the valid points that I've seen make a lot
Yeah.
of sense.
yeah, but that's what I'm saying is I'm trying to understand those points.
With
Because
my
I've never looked into
logical
it.
mind, they make just as much sense as the things that are being shoved down my throat with the round Earth theory. They make
Mhm.
just as much sense as that. So my logical mind says that either or could be true.
Okay.
Either
Okay.
of the two.
I get what he's saying.
I want to know what's on the other side of the coin. If we can't get to the other side of the coin, there's got to be like maybe
Hell.
that's where the dinosaurs went.
No, that's hell.
That's like asking
Hell.
when.
No, hell is inside the planet. It's in the Earth's core. But
Okay.
on the other side would still be the
Your
exterior of the planet.
brain is stuck on the round Earth. You're stuck there. Like your brain won't let you.
No, I'm saying with two sides of the coin, there's still an inside of the coin, right? I mean, if there wasn't an inside of the coin, whenever they mine for coal or dig down, they'd hit air, right?
No,
It'd be like
you're
digging
not getting it. You
coming
don't
out
get
the
it
other side.
because if it's flat, the model is wrong. The model is. It would be the same thing as if you dug into the Earth. You would get rock, then molten stuff, and then
Right, that's
hell,
what I'm saying. So
whatever.
even with the flat Earth theory, there is a center to the coin, right?
Yeah.
You would be digging down through, you taking out the coal or whatever, and eventually you could dig through to the other side, right?
I don't know because I've never done it.
I want to take a drill right now and drill through this coin and see if the drill bit comes back out the same side and not go through it.
Somebody asked how thick is the flat Earth. What is the
Well,
girth?
Well, see, and that's another valid question. Like, I don't know. I'm gonna have to look into the flat Earth theory now because, like, there's too many questions now that I have to try and understand where they're coming
Yes, and
Right.
that's what I invite people to do is to go and make your own judgments off of the stuff you study yourself. Go out there and study it and see what you find out on your own.
And that's what this show is all about. Question everything, everybody. Like, don't accept what the public puts out there as an explanation.
Yeah,
Make
but
your
you
own
just tried
judgment.
to shove your round Earth down my throat, and it's
No, I
years of training and years of
you are completely missing the point. I was saying what's on the other side of the flat Earth.
How do I know?
That's
I've
what
never been there.
I was accepting the flat Earth. I just want to know what's on the other side of it.
That's
All
what
right,
I was.
hold on.
trying to
I just want
understand.
I just want to read this. Hold on. The greater the mass of two objects and the shorter the distance between them, the stronger the pull of the gravitational force is.
True.
They exert on each other. With this theory, relativity, Albert Einstein explained how gravity is more than just a force. It is a curvature in space-time continuum, which explains shit.
Exactly.
So Brian has said that we are all doing his head in. He doesn't understand what the hell we're talking about.
Actually, years
Brian?
ago,
Brian, just sit over there and say, yeah.
years ago, our scientists theorized that gravity was made of these things called gravitons or gravitons. Okay.
I love Transformers.
All right. Yes. All right. So now these are theoretical particles that are making gravity happen. And actually, science has just come to another point where they're saying that gravity is actually a wave. What that means? Nothing at all. So I'll just shut up.
Load up and roll out.
Graviton. I'm sorry. Gravitons. Not graviton.
All I know this is the last time I'm accepting a freaking invite for this panel, dude.
What I would have to say, this has been very constructive.
It has been fun. No, don't get me wrong.
I'm sorry, I meant destructive. Sorry.
Yeah, self-destructive.
I can have some.
Oh, shit. Well, we started out talking about celebrity deaths and things, and it just kind of took a left turn, went through McDonald's drive-through. We lost Ronald McDonald and the whole gang, Grimace, all them. And
The
then
Hamburglar.
ended up on flat Earth somehow. I think that's a conspiracy in itself. I don't know.
Yeah.
But we are at the 2-hour mark, and I think we're going to shut it down here. And guys, stay on the call for the after call. Thank everybody for coming. We will do some more conspiracy talk next week and try to stay away from flat Earth.
And coming up soon, Ghost and his drone.
Yes.
David, the producer, just said exactly what is on the other side of the flat Earth.
Cleveland. Yeah. Well, that can't be because, I can drive to Cleveland in like 2 hours.
That's because you go through the portal Nexus.
Portal.
Trans.
And how do you open the portal again? That's at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, right?
Yes, which is located in Springfield, Massachusetts.
No, it's located in Cleveland.
Oh, no. I'm talking about the Basketball Hall of Fame.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Are you talking about me?
So, guys, I want to thank my panel guests for coming up here. JoJo Walker Unplugged, Drone Warship, and his dinghy. And HSSL Paranormal. And Wormholes Ghost Mafia. Yes, Wormholes.
Oh, somebody was asking about skunk apes.
Oh, Florida skunk apes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's, you know what? Maybe we'll get into cryptozoology for the next one.
Yeah,
there's actually a lot of stuff about that, and we touched on it in a fewer episodes back. Genetic research labs doing things to animals and everything else. So maybe we'll cover that on the next episode.
Yeah, and the Jersey Devil, I think, would be another good one next time.
Jersey Devil was what I was referring to. There's actually an island out in that area where
Montauk.
Montauk Island, where they had been doing genetic research with animals, and it said that the Jersey Devil is a possibility of one of those animals that escaped from that island.
No, Donna Rocket, it was in my back burner, but they kept talking about the flat Earth, so it kind of got detoured.
See, that's the thing is flat Earth can generate the longest debate between both sides for so long.
I
And so
know.
many arguments. It's just go
It's
out
like-
there.
Hey,
Start
Lou,
deciding.
Lou, you know who you need to have a private conversation with?
Okay, guys, let me wrap this up and we'll go into the after call. So, guys, thanks for coming. I want to thank everybody for the super chats. Thank all the mods out there that was, keeping all that stuff. I seen it. I seen it going down. You guys did a great job. Goes out to you guys. And, guys, we will see you next week here with, wait, what's this?
It's the president telling me that the earth is actually flat.
Somebody else is like, I'm live. I was like, okay. Like, gotta love it. Anyways,
Hashtag wiener face.
Wiener face. Yes.
guys, don't forget about the dog cam conspiracy. And we're still watching. We still want to get your videos of you guys like asking convenience stores or McDonald's or wherever shoot a small video. Go up there and ask some questions. Ask them about the dog cam.
And we are going to talk humunculus.
Ooh.
Okay.
All right. In the end, both models, the flat Earth and round Earth, everything leads to dog ham.
Yeah,
Right.
that's true. And I think that's what we'll find on the other side of the coin.
Dog ham.
Dark side of the moon.
Humunculus.
Yeah. Dog ham. All right, guys. I'm going to end this here. We'll see you back here next week for Let's Talk Conspiracies. Quick, you guys got anything you want to plug real quick?
Never mind.
My dinghy floats well.
Drone has his boat up and on the water, and he's been doing fishing videos and things like that. So go over there, check out Drone's channel. And again, he does have the world's smallest flying DeLorean. So,
And yeah, make sure you check out his floater.
and JoJo tomorrow will be doing her show, Whacked Out Wednesdays.
Yep.
And what we got? You got any teasers for him or anything?
I have a really good one, but I don't want to say it because we are doing an open panel. I want people to start coming up and bringing their whacked out stories with them. Ghost and I, on the other hand, are going to be talking about like whacked out inventions and things that people buy. So,
Nice.
yeah.
And
Remember, that's whacked out Wednesday. not whacked out Wednesday.
And we definitely should talk humunculus. That's the guy that impregnated a chicken egg with his own sperm and created a monster.
I saw that video. It's so creepy.
that's crazy.
It is creepy. It is very creepy.
It's a whole series. And then, did you know
Yes.
he just randomly died and like the video stopped?
I know.
So HSFL, you got anything coming up soon?
I was gonna probably go filming tomorrow. I was gonna take a rent-a-car down to Southern California at some point. Oh, I discovered a secret cemetery deep into the woods.
Nice.
So I'm probably gonna go check that out.
And I know that Lou Rock has his Monday night shows, EVPs and stuff. And you were doing some pretty decent stuff there yesterday. You had the SLS camera going and all that. So guys, if you didn't catch his video last night, go over there and check out Lou Rock's channel. And what else you got for us, Lou? Oh yeah, I almost forgot. Friday at 11.
No.
The roast, or is it at 11? Okay, it's at 11. The roast.
I have no
of Lou
idea
Rock.
what he's talking
Yes.
about. Blah,
The
blah, blah,
roast
blah, blah,
of
blah,
Lou
blah.
Rock. It's going to be on Lady Swan's channel, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Over on Lady Swan's channel, it is the roast of Lou Rock. You guys aren't going to want to miss that one.
This is
I'm
a
calling
lie.
Charlie Sheen. He's getting in on this.
These are lies. All lies. Don't listen.
Winning.
So, all right, guys. That is it for us. We will catch you here. Oh, I will see you guys Thursday on EVPs over on Brian's Paranormal channel. And we'll catch you there. Later on, guys.
All right.
Dog ham.